welcome to day 10 of the 25 cards for Christmas with rubber and ink. We'll be using a lot of pieces of ribbon today. As you can see here, I have few pieces, and I chose for this card to mix and match all the ribbons that I have that are shades of blue. I find it interesting for texture that you choose whatever you have at home, and the varying the textures and the widths do make a difference. These are retired clearance items. You know, there's no fun on clearance if you can't actually use the stuff that you buy on clearance. So I have 7 pieces here, and a piece of cardstock that is 3 3/4 by 3 3/4 inch that we're going to use as a base for the ribbon. And the first thing you're going to do is just add a lot of adhesive, very strong adhesive, on the next to the borders and then diagonally in the middle. You really don't want the ribbon to be peeling off. And then we are going to just lay the ribbons. I am going to do it on a diagonal fashion. You can just do it differently. It's really up to you. You can do straight down, or and try to make it so the ribbons that you put side by side have a good contrast. So keep doing that until all the ribbons are placed. Once all the ribbons are put in place, I'm not too worried about the corners. And like I said, you really need to put the adhesive close to the borders of the paper. So I'm not really worried with the 2 little corners here because we're not going to see them. I am going to turn it around and trim lots and lots of strong adhesive close to the border here of the paper. And you're just going to fold the ribbon down. Okay, we're done with that. I have a base here of, again, white cardstock that's 4.5 by 4.5 inches. And I'm going to adhere this layer to the center of the base. The next thing you need is a piece of the same white cardstock that is also 4.5 by 4.5. It's going to be placed on top here. And I cut a 3-inch circle right exactly in the middle using my circle cutter. If there isn't one yet, one video at Minute Maid, I will post a video on how to do this, but for sake of time I'm not going to show you how to cut it today. So this is where it's going to go, and we can adhere that already, but we're going to be using stamping dimensionals for that. And it doesn't really matter which side. The only thing that you have to pay attention is that you do not want to put one of these in the middle of the side that's going to be up. The center of the circle that's going to go up, you do not want to put a stamping dimension on it. So this one, I'm going to just put it up, so I'm going to put 2, 1 on each side. And you're going to see why in a minute. Oh, I just forgot to do it. I want to, before adhering this portion, this layer, I want to sponge a little bit, and that's okay, I can do that. Very lightly with Night of Navy ink. And again, very lightly. I'm going to put a piece of computer paper underneath here so I can see how light it is, or maybe take some of the ink off. And it's just to define the edges of the paper, so you don't want it to be very dark. And now I can align my cardstock. This layer is a little bit easier because it aligns with the full face of the paper. There you go. So now all we need to do is stamp and cut one ornament. The ornament I'm going to be cutting and stamping is this one from the Ornament Keepsakes. And I'm also using, where is it? The framelit that goes with it, the holiday ornaments. So this framelit goes with it, and we're going to be using that as well. One note about this new ink by Stampin' Up! One of the good things about it is that it's wet enough that you can emboss it without the need of Versamark. So if you do not have the new ink, what you can do is you can mount your stamp, and you can put the stamp on the Versamark first, and then on the ink, and then emboss with clear powder. That will make it sticky enough. But make sure that you do Versamark first and then the color, so you don't ruin your Versamark pad. I have just a piece of paper that's big enough for the ornament here, and I'm going to just simply using the same shade of blue, the Night of Navy, ink up my stamp really well. Stamp it, and then shake some clear embossing powder on it, and you'll see that it sticks right to it without the need of Versamark. And because we're going to be cutting, I didn't even bother using the embossing buddy. I hope you can see that all of the embossing powder is stuck to the ink. So we heat emboss the ornament. I have a strip of Night of Navy card, and this time I will need to use the embossing buddy. And for some marking, and now we're all done with embossing. We're going to have to cut and trim a little bit of the pieces. And so what I like to do is to place the shape around the stamp image and then secure it. I'm using a piece of washi tape here, and I secure it on two sides so I know that's not gonna go anywhere. And then place it on my sandwich on the big top. I will also use another retired item. It's the silver cord that we used to have some time ago. If you don't have it, you can easily find it in any craft store. And I need a piece that will go from the ornament all the way to the top of the card. Now on the top here, one of the legs of this loop, you're going to leave it on the top. The other one, you just thread through the window and tie a bow on the very top. You can do this several ways. I am about to put a video on Minute Maid on techniques to create this V shape, but I still think that the quickest way is like that. So now I want it to be a little bit rounded, so I'm going to get my anything, you know, a pan or anything that's round, and you just rub it against the paper like that, so it's going to give you that way. And then on the borders you do the opposite. I think it's centered as it is. One last touch is I'm going to put a big rhinestone right in the middle of the ornament. And this is the card for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you tomorrow for card number 11. Thank you.